I'm Brian Chairman, and I am refuting that and saying that the death penalty should be legalized and kept. She stated that there were a lot more costs for the death penalty. Well, yes, this is true in our current system. It is not, in effect, real. A .223 rifle ammunition can cost about 40 cents per round. You can execute someone virtually with no money. Also, rope, you can buy 20 feet of it for a 22,600 pound strength for about $40. You only need 6 feet. So the cost only comes from the trials, which if you get rid of most of those, sentence it to like 3 or 5, then they will not have as much costs and it won't tie up our prison systems as much. Also, the capability to put innocents to death is diminishing with newer technologies. Our polygraph machines are overall accurate to 85%. New technologies such as thermal imaging, eye tracking, and MRIs can determine what the person is thinking and how much activity is in their brain. DNA is also extremely accurate with the new denaturing high-pressure liquid chromatography system that is used by the Stanford Genome Technology Center of Palo Alto, California. They say that their accuracy is 99.4%, 98.7%, and 99% accurate, respectively. The mentally ill on death row was determined by the U.S. Supreme Court to be legal and allowable because they committed the crime, and therefore, no matter what, you must be tried for your crimes. Otherwise, there will not be justice. A crime that is worth putting a criminal to death is a crime nonetheless, no matter what your mental state is. Most countries, 88 countries, have the death penalty in effect currently, and saying that more would be in favor of us is kind of wrong because they follow our example. Our first real penitentiary, the Eastern State Penitentiary, which was established in 1829 by a religious group, the Quakers, was a solitary confinement facility which allowed prisoners to think on their crimes and then eventually be released into the population once again. However, this is a great theory, but if you're sentencing someone to life, then, well, what's kind of the point of a rehabilitation facility? They just take up money and resources that would otherwise go to other programs. Charles Dickens said this about the penitentiary. In its intentions, I am well convinced that it is kind, humane, and meant for reformation. But I am persuaded that those who designed the system of prison discipline and those benevolent gentlemen who carry it into execution do not know what they are doing. I hold this show and daily tempering with the mysteries of the brain to be immeasurably worse than any torture of the body. And because its ghastly sign and tokens are not so palpable to the eye, and it extorts few cries from human ears can hear, therefore I denounce it as a secret punishment in which slumbering can end. So, is the prison system more inhumane, or the execution, which allows for a quick and timely death? There are virtually no pains involved in all matters of executions other than stoning, which no one has used since a long, long time ago. A motion to a criminal's family? Well, what about the victim's family? J. Edgar Hoover said, "Have you ever thought how many criminals escape punishment, and yet the victims never had a chance to do that? Are crime victims in the United States today the forgotten people of our time? Do they receive full measure of justice? That is for you to answer. And also, we can solve the issue of our money problems. The immediate costs are what gets us, but the long-term costs of life imprisonment are what will get us in the end, not the short-term executions. And if it does nothing to deter criminals, why was it used for the past 6,000 years as a primary means of execution and crime deterrence? The disadvantages of our policy will continue to add more prisoners to our already crowded prison systems. It will cost more dollars over time. It increases the peril of other inmates who will be in there with the murderers and sometimes traitors. There is a possibility of release back into society, and the Justice Department states that of 272,111 persons released from prisons in the 15 states in 1994, 67.5 were reconvicted of similar and different crimes. The purpose of the prison system is rehabilitation, not execution, but that is what we need to do in order to get them.